A harder tamp will slow your extraction time. A lighter tamp will speed your extraction time up. If your extraction times are over or under by more than a few seconds, you will need to adjust your grind. If your extraction times are too slow, or over 30 seconds, turn the grind toward coarser. If it takes under 20 seconds, or your extraction time is too fast, make the grind finer. Small adjustments in grind make large adjustments in time. If your extraction times are close, you will need to change grind only 1 to 3 notches on most grinders. Ask any scientist. If you can't repeat it, you can't fine-tune it. You need a stopwatch and a shot glass. And you need to consistently pay attention to the shots that you're pulling and the times that it's taking. And that is the key to producing consistently excellent espresso. So, we've adjusted our grind, we've kept our dose consistent, we've tamped our coffee correctly, we've extracted our shot between 20 and 30 seconds, and we've produced an excellent espresso. This is a great drink by itself, or the basis for all of our other drinks. We've already looked at how to make espresso. What we'll look at next is how to prepare milk, the other half of 3 of our 4 basic drinks. We'll talk about what types of milk to use, how to prepare it, and how it should be used in the various drinks. Naturally, you want to start with a fresh, high-quality milk. We generally use skim and whole milk, but 2% can also be used. When you foam milk, you're looking to expand the volume of the milk about 5 times. There are really only 3 basic rules for foaming milk. You have to have enough milk, you have to have full pressure on your machine, and you have to foam fast before the milk heats up. After about 140 degrees, milk won't foam anymore. For training purposes, we'll use this glass beaker so you can see what actually goes on in the pitcher. Usually, to foam a cappuccino, you'll want to use a smaller pitcher so as to use as little milk as possible. The first rule for foaming milk is add enough milk. Too little milk, and the milk will heat up and stop foaming. The easiest way to foam is foaming by sound. The sound milk makes when it foams is a constant sound, and you'll hear it as we do it now. The first thing you'll want to do before you use your steam arm is blow out any excess moisture. This will keep any excess water out of your milk. The next thing that you'll do is insert the steam wand straight into the pitcher. Now, the second rule for foaming milk, after you know you have enough milk, is you want to have enough steam. For most machines, enough steam is about 1 turn on the steam knob. Notice the sound that you'll hear when we begin to foam this milk. This cutting sound is the sound of milk being foamed. When we get near the top, we'll plunge the steam arm to heat the milk, turn the steam off, set the pitcher down, blow out and wipe off our steam arm. Our milk is now foamed. Foaming is kind of a tricky process at first, but after a little bit of practice and following the rules that we gave you earlier, you should be able to do this with your eyes closed. The second thing a barista does with milk is steam it. Steamed milk is used in both lattes and mochas. In order to steam milk, we want to fill our pitcher with just the right amount of milk for that drink. Next, you'll blow out any condensation from the steam arm. Put the pitcher up to where the steam wand is just on the surface of the milk. You'll start out by blowing bubbles on the surface of the milk for about 2 to 3 seconds. Then plunge the steam wand into the milk and begin heating it, keeping an eye on the thermometer. Steaming milk should be quiet, and it makes a much different sound than foaming milk. The idea behind steaming milk is to heat it, but not to foam it. The temperature of the milk has an incredible impact on the drink, and small differences in temperature make tremendous differences in the flavor, body, sweetness of the drink. After a lot of experimenting, we found that the best drinks are served between 140 and 170 degrees. We found 150 degrees to be the best temperature for in-house drinks, and 160 to be the best temperature for to-go drinks, because drinks tend to cool off a little bit on the way to the car. One of the problems with milk is that no matter how many times you steam it or foam it, it still comes out white. This is a problem in a lot of espresso bars. Because milk is heat sensitive, there are really two ways to ruin it. You heat it above 180 degrees one time, or heat it more than 2 times. There are 4 ways to tell milk temperature. The first is your hand. Your hand is quite sensitive. A well-trained barista can tell the difference between 150 and 155 degrees. We use stainless steel pitchers because of their conductivity for heat. It's very easy to tell the temperature of milk in a stainless steel pitcher just by touching it. The second way is by using a good thermometer. Thermometers are available in either analog or digital. The analog thermometers are probably more durable on a bar and can be calibrated by using a pair of pliers. The digital thermometers are probably more accurate temperature-wise. The third way is with your ear. Milk makes different sounds at different temperatures. With a little bit of experience, you'll be able to recognize this right away. If you suspect you've overheated milk, the final way to tell milk temperature is by smell. If the milk smells cooked, you've probably scalded the milk and you should throw it out. In a production bar, in order not to waste any milk, we're going to set up what's called a milk cycle. We like to use at least 3 pitchers. A pitcher for foaming, a pitcher for making lattes or steaming milk, and finally a pitcher for mochas. It might sound complicated at first, but it's actually very simple. Remember, you can only foam milk once, but you can steam milk again if you add half fresh milk. Since milk can only be foamed one time, any milk left over from foaming will go into the latte pitcher. Half fresh milk will be added. Lattes can be made with this milk. Any milk left over from this steaming will then go into the mocha pitcher. Half fresh milk will be added. The reason that the mocha can use milk that's been steamed more often is because the chocolate used in the mocha adds back sweetness and body. You'll find that by using this milk cycle, you'll be able to save a lot of money because you'll have a lot less waste. Not only that, your drinks will taste better because you'll have the freshest milk where you need it the most. So now we've mastered the basic techniques of pulling shots and foaming and steaming milk. Let's go ahead now and begin to make drinks. Espresso is the simplest and most basic drink, but in itself it's an art. I fill my clean portafilter with a proper amount of coffee. I give it a hard, even tamp. I insert the portafilter into the machine and lock it tight. I start the machine. I double check my extraction time. And if it's acceptable, I'll serve the shot. Usually espresso is extracted into a demi-tasse which has been warmed on top of the machine. Let's make a latte. It's a popular drink that is espresso with steamed milk. Extract the appropriate shots of espresso. Steam your milk to the proper serving temperature as the shot is extracting.